about Kevin Nash? How was he? I hear a lot of stories about him, big ego, and
He's got a big ego, and I mean, I never had anything against Kevin, but he was like a dick to me, and I have no, it's like, why are you being a dick to me? I haven't done anything to you. You have no reason to be jealous of me. I don't understand his attitude really, because I thought he was quite a nice guy, but then, he's like that to a lot of people, I believe.
a lot of people say he fears guys getting over on him and their big, their
Right,
push.
right.
And,
I think that I think he's like a bitch.
right. Do you think that you could definitely still draw big money for a company if they used you right?
Yeah, if they use me right, I could.
Definitely.
I know I could. We'd have to sit down and talk about it, and adapt more to today's way of doing things. But still, the basic formula works. I mean, it's like a movie. In Clint Eastwood, his family will get murdered and house burnt down, and then he spends something and his kid kidnapped, and then he spends the rest of the movie trying to find the kid and
Right.
get revenge. I mean, it's the basic thing.
How come your brother never got involved in wrestling?
He's really more into the real shoot
Right.
fight. He likes the real stuff, even though now he has his own club in England. He's a martial arts club and weights club and stuff like that, and he teaches a lot of the Europe's judo people, but now he's started to teach the Ultimate Fight Challenge people to go in. He teaches them grappling and arm locks and stuff like that. So.
Right. Who are some of your favorite guys that you worked with?
The Von Erichs, of course, Jimmy Garvin, Freebirds, Ric Flair. I enjoyed working a lot with some of the guys in Terry Taylor,
Right.
some of the guys in WCW. The karate guy that used to come with all the snow and stuff. He's a nice guy. I can't remember.
Glacier.
Right.
He's a nice guy. I like working with. I don't really have much trouble working with most people.
Who was your biggest influence, you think?
I don't think it was any one person. I think it was my traveling at an early stage of my career, like to Japan and Mexico,
Right.
and really just taking all the styles and trying to put them together. And that I tried to use everyone as a little influence. I try and pick up something from everyone, and I still do. I watch some of the guys, some of the stuff they do on WWF now, especially, and I think it's great. And you always see a new move, or you
Right.
see someone who takes it. So I don't think you ever stop learning in life, but I mean, especially in this business.
Do you think today's wrestling is more high spots? It's good for the business, or do you think they need to slow things down because in a year or two there's not going to be much more to do?
Yeah, I've thought that. I mean, it's like where a high spot would be a finish, or I mean, where a move would be a finish. Now it's a high spot, and sometimes I see a couple of things that the Hardy Boys have
Right.
done, and it's like, wow, why don't you use that as it? Because
Right.
it looks so awesome. But then they'll get back up again and do something. I believe that when you finish a match, that move that you do the finish with should be more spectacular than the high spot earlier on in the match. That's just my point of view, but I mean, it's logical, I think.
Yeah, definitely. What is your most memorable match?
The hair match with Gino Hernandez and myself against the Von Erichs, for sure. I mean, that was the crescendo. That was like the build-up that we'd had, like I mentioned before in the tape. We put off and put off and put off and couldn't put it off any longer. And then it was like everybody was ready for it.
Right.
Everybody wanted to see it.
Do you think a world class or a territory could survive today? Or do you think?
I do, because I think that it's wide open for territorial wrestling right now. The only difference being they would have to have a fantastic TV production. You cannot compare with Vince or Ted Turner in production. They've got too much money. But I believe if you go back to the basics, where the heel means something and the baby faces mean something, and that it's like directing a movie. You can have great actors, but if the director's not right, the movie sucks. So I believe that if the right people were put in the right positions, then you had a good production, TV production. I believe that territorial wrestling could take off, because I think that maybe WWF are going to take over the world, and there's room in for these smaller. In fact, I would like to think that maybe Vince could even organize it, where he could put help with the production and stuff like that, because it's a good place for the guys to learn. Number one, well, not number one, but people in Texas I know are ready for their own thing. They love it, but you got to have TV. I promoted for so many years without TV, and that is just too much of a hard slog. You've got to go into a town and uproot it yourself.
Right.
But yeah, I do believe that.
Do you have any regrets?
One regret in my career that mainly I have is the turning point when I walked out of the of NWA, when I should have just bit my lip and hung on in there, because now look at Sting and look a bunch of these guys who hung on in there and just shut up and did their thing, are now pretty big stars.
Right.
So I believe that my attitude at that particular time wasn't a good one, and that's my main regret in this business.
At what point in the business did you realize, oh, wow, I made it, I finally am a big star?
Oh, back in the Gino time,
Right.
like that. But what I've learned since then is that it's hard to get, but it can easily go. And so anybody thinks they've made it and they can sit back, they need to rethink, because it can easily disappear. I think the art is you got to keep your face in the place, and you got to, you've got to be prepared to change up, and adapt.
Can you talk about your new venture that you're doing today? Can you
Yeah.
plug your website now and all?
Yeah, sure. Right now, I've been busy since April putting a website together. It's www.wrestlingrings, that's plural, wrestlingrings.com. And what we're doing is, lately a lot of people have got injured and are trying to do backyard wrestling. This is not necessarily backyard wrestling, but they're doing wrestling at home, whether it's on mattresses, concrete, the ground, trampolines, whatever. We have come up with the idea, my friend and I came up with an idea of supplying a wrestling ring, real wrestling ring, for a backyard. We went through several designs. We tried a trampoline design. We talked to trampoline companies. In the end, we came up with a slightly smaller, put together real metal ring with boards and ropes. I mean, it's a real ring, and we like to think that we're not encouraging people to wrestle. The TV programs do that, not us.
Right.
We just give them a safe place to do it. And I accompany that with an instructional videotape that I shot 10 years ago. It features Stone Cold Steve Austin, who was Steve Austin back then. Jeff Jarrett, Jerry the King Lawler is teaching how to do interviews. Let me see who else. Even the Undertaker's in there under a mask.
Right.
It's kind of a neat thing. It goes over the basics of professional wrestling. No high flying stuff, but the kind of stuff that people need to learn before they go on to the high flying. So
The videos, the ABCs of wrestling.
the ABCs of professional wrestling, yeah, and that's on the website. We also supply gear for adults and kids, especially the kids. We've got like Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, stuff like that. Eventually, we'll be coming out with TV ads. We're going to put them in WWF programs and have all the kids dressed up in the costumes, have a couple of well-known wrestlers, and have like a thing going on in some backyard.
Right.
But basically it's rings. And also I'm going to do camps in the new year. I'll be doing professional wrestling camps, sort of like the Funk deal, except it's for weekends, like Friday night, Saturday and Sunday. They go home Sunday and come up with a reasonable price, and then they can come to pick up on their skills, or they can come if they're brand new and try it out, where it's not too expensive. They don't have to give up a week of their time or vacation, and I'll be starting that in the new year, 2001.
Do you still keep in contact with Steve Austin at all, or?
No, I keep in contact with his wife.
Right.
You know, who's my ex, because we have a child together, and my child grew up.
He just got remarried too.
Yeah, he got remarried. He's got 2 children with my ex-wife, but I also have a child. So they all live together right now.
Right.
Yeah, so I keep in touch with her, so I know what's going on with you, Steve.
Right. Do you have any questions?
Yep.
In closing, do you want to say anything to your fans?
Yeah, I just want the fans to know that, you know, I don't want to sound sickly or anything like that, because I know that the fans have also changed a little bit over the years. But without the fans, any professional wrestler is nothing. It's because of the fans, whether you hate us or love us, that we're here. And I think that more professional wrestlers should be grateful to the fans throughout their careers.
Well, definitely thank you. You've been a true gentleman.
Thanks a lot.
It's a great interview.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.